What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. I know there are a lot of extremely happy people out there as they're going to be resuming work and very soon due to the fact that the writer's strike was finally moved forward into a ratification stage now. As we reported earlier this week, they reached, at least in principle, a negotiation that had to go through the lawyer's gauntlet. It has done so. Now, what does that mean for Marvel Studios? Because there are some projects that were in various stages of writing that they can now move forward with and finishing the scripts, even though the actor strike will loom, and for some time I'm guessing it's not going to be wrapped up in next week or quite as fast, just hopefully before the end of the year. We're going to break down the next projects that will be up for Marvel Studios finishing when the writers finally return to work in a couple of weeks after this agreement has been ratified. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with the release of Loki. Again, all you got to do is be a sub, leave a comment if you want. Stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, of course, the writer's strike coming to an end for anybody who works in that sector is great news, but for a lot of studios, and especially for TV, those writers are going to go back to work almost immediately because Q4 is not a total wash now and get to work on next seasons of TV. That'll be felt almost immediately, but for Marvel Studios, it's a little different. There are really two serious ramifications of the writer's strike ending. One that'll be felt immediately, the other one we won't actually start to see the fruit of that basically until the actor's strike is done and they start filming again. Number one, Marvel Studios has tons of scripts that are in various stages, but two very prominently in their second and third rewrites. The first of which is the Fantastic Four script, which hangs in the balance of securing the cast. It's been rumored heavily that Adam Driver's lack of interest initially was due to the fact of not being able to connect with the script, and that's what led to them hiring Snowpiercer writer Josh Friedman to do basically the second draft. Of course, there have been other names at the front of the rumor mill like Matt Smith and most recently Jake Gyllenhaal being offered the role of Reed Richards, but it's also been said that they will reapproach Adam Driver once the second draft is done. You have to imagine Josh Friedman will start working on that script and trying to finish it with Marvel as soon as he possibly can, again after the agreement is ratified. Now, the next project up that will be probably in its last stages of being finished, as that's where they were right before they started filming, literally within a month of when they were supposed to start rolling film, Marvel Studios added a third writer to the Blade project, as reported by Variety on April 28th, that, quote, Marvel's Blade adds True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto as writer. That's someone Mahershala Ali had worked with before on the HBO crime series True Detective, who trusted to sort of clean up, finalize, work on the dialogue, all of the fine-tuning for the script that had already had its second rewrite. And as they reported, Nick Pizzolatto was taking on the writing duties and working off of the draft before him from Michael Starbury. That was again the second draft, and at that time they said the movie was darker than most MCU movies, which, fingers crossed, that remains true, and we're all still hoping for a rated R rating to be handed down, perhaps in the wake of the success and the fact that Deadpool will be rated R as well. Speaking of which, that's the second effect of the writer's strike now ending. Whenever the actors are able to reach an agreement with the studios, hopefully the studios will go back to the table now, try to work in good faith with them to work out an equitable deal so that they can resolve this strike. The fact is that now the writers will be back on set so that rewrites will be allowed. Certain projects like Daredevil and Wonder Man actually had to stop before the actors' strike started, not because they couldn't film, but because they really needed there to be writers on set to work on rewrites with the actors, which weren't allowed again, and now that'll be resolved once the actors are back on set. And the second part of this is that we also knew that Ryan Reynolds, who had worked as a writer on Deadpool, wasn't allowed to ad-lib at all, and now when they resume filming on that, again, because writers are allowed now, we won't have to worry about him being stuck to the pages that are just on the script. So there are some effects that'll be felt and down the road, but obviously the looming question mark here were the reports about certain writers being off certain Avengers 5s and 6s. As recent reports from the industry insiders, and corroborated now by multiple sources, is that Jeff Loveness on Avengers 5 and Michael Waldron for Avengers 6 were no longer tied to writing the projects. Again, I think I've speculated at least 3 times it's because of the strikes and the changing timetables, or it's because of a change of direction. And while we don't expect any major slate announcements coming from Marvel Studios or really any studio until the actor strikes are resolved as well, everything is ratified and they know they can move forward safely with new dates, it is a bit of a question mark whether or not they'll acknowledge who's writing on any of these projects or new writers, or whether those writers will come out and confirm that they're not tied to the projects as well. The exciting part about it is there's a really good chance we're going to find out if there are new writers on those projects, who they are, before they announce the directors. And I think if they hire a certain pair of writers, you guys know who I'm talking about, it may mean a certain pair of directors from the Infinity Saga might be back for Secret Wars, which is what I'm ultimately holding out for. I know there have been other names thrown in the hat, especially real recently. I still just think the Russos should step up and do it. And then, of course, on the other side of the coin over at Sony, you have to imagine they're going to push forward with the Spider-Man 4 script, which we've only heard light details about, and surprisingly, there was no new deal in place for Tom Holland. He may be waiting on the script as well. I assume that will also be first order as soon as the actor strike is done. Speaking of which, now that they were able to come to the table, get to work with the writers, get this out of the way, I'm hoping that this is some semblance of what's going to happen now with the actors, and although it seems like it's going to be more of a contentious negotiation based on what we heard about the writers having no contention at all and what's already been said in the media by both sides, you've got to hope that as long as the studios are ready to come back and negotiate in good faith, then the actors are going to get the deal that they've struck for. And as I've said before, now that they've actually gone to striking, you just want to make sure that when they come back to work, they feel good. The studios are going to end up paying more the longer they hold out. I think they see that now, so hopefully there's going to be an actors deal sometime soon. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below, which projects you're most hyped for. I am very relieved now that whenever they start resuming on Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds is going to be able to ad-lib. That's part of his character, that's part of the best stuff and magic from some of the dialogue in Deadpool 2 and Deadpool 1, so glad to hear that that's going to remain there. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below quickly. Let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStations at the channel. Actually 3, one a month through the end of the year. One for Loki, one for the Marvels, and one for What If. If you want to be entered to win, super simple, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos the same way we're doing here. We're going to be giving away comic books all the way through October. We'll do an announcement every Sunday after the week has passed from winners each day there. Again, all you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random for all the giveaways, more videos you comment on, better chance you have of winning. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name AllFires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking out my music, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.